can't be too prideful, too stubborn to not step across that line to say, I can't do it on my own, I need help. Your ego is not important. What's more important is to put food on the table.
And there's a certain amount of shame that comes into having to beg for every little thing that you get.
When you have to struggle paycheck to paycheck, it's a hard thing.
I mean, I've had my gas shut off. I've had my electric shut off. It's horrifying, and it's embarrassing when your kids go to turn on something and it doesn't work. Poverty is just every day for me.
This is Good in the Hood podcast. Our conversation today is with Sean Morrison, the Executive Director of Good in the Hood and Senior Pastor of Cedar Crest Free Methodist Church.
Sean, I'm amazed at when I'm on the internet and I'm looking at statistics about, poverty and people that, don't have enough food and stuff. I was amazed that 1 in 7 Americans, or 46 million Americans, rely on the food shelf. I mean, why is that such a problem here in the richest country on the face of the earth?
Great question, Larry, and it's, of course, very concerning that there's such a high poverty ratio. What's happening is it's not just unemployment, though that is a concern, it's also underemployment. It's people that are working maybe a part-time job or they're working a commission-based job and it's not meeting their needs because the cost of food and the cost of utilities and just life in general.
Right. Are they known as the working poor? Is that what they call that? Or I've heard that term.
Yeah, that's often the case. It's people that are disabled, people that are elderly, people that are single parents. It's people that are living on assistance. But what's misnomer, it's not just those living off of the system necessarily. It's people trying to move forward. People that once gave to places like food shelves and food pantries are now having to receive food from them because their income just is not meeting their needs. It's concerning.
Well, they say that poverty is in every county in America. So it's not something that is just over across, as they used to say, the railroad tracks. It's everywhere. And yet, somehow we don't see it as Americans.
The interesting thing about poverty, and you said it well, the greatest concentration of poverty is in the inner cities. The greatest per capita is in the rural areas. And the fastest growing region of poverty is in the first and second ring suburbs. So you're accurate, and it is everywhere. We are not able to go anywhere at this point in time and not find somewhere or someone who's struggling with poverty. And our organization deals a lot with hunger relief in particular. And so we see people that are in need of groceries, in need of a hot meal, in need of weekend packs for their children to eat on weekends. And what I found is this. It's not lack of resource. It's lack of distribution of those resources and lack of availability or accessibility. A lot of times the families in need don't have transportation or they don't have the ability to even go not only to a grocery store or farmer's market, they can't get to a food shelf because they don't have daycare. So who's going to watch their kids while they're doing that? And they can't afford daycare. So then they try to bring the kids, but they don't have a vehicle. So they try to bring them on a bus, public transportation. But that's very expensive. And then how are they going to carry groceries on a bus? You see it, the problems, there's barriers that are hidden barriers that people aren't aware of. And so we're trying to make a difference. And so we not only try to have proximity through relationship and location, we also are now starting a mobile food program in order to bring it to the people, so to speak.
So poverty is a problem. It's here to stay. It's in every community. You have a program called 10 for 1. I just love this because you can always remember what it stands for, right? $10 will feed 4 people for 1 week.
Correct.
I want to know more about it. What is it?
Well, it's a program that we just designed in order to help people who wanted to contribute to realize the impact of their contribution. And it was at a price, frankly, that anybody could give. $10, most of us have $10 that we can spare. But we realized we needed about $100,000 every year in order to meet the needs of the cost of groceries for the various people that we're feeding. We're feeding over 3,000 people every month. And so we realized, that's about 36,000 people a year. We needed about $100,000. We did our metrics and found out that the cost of groceries for one person is about $2.50 for 7 days. And so we realized we could take, the 10 for 1, $10 a month, 1,000 people, if they were to give $10,000 a month, that would be over $100,000. And that $10 at $2.50 would feed 4 people with 1 week's worth of groceries. And this is essential groceries. And it's not all the other costs, it's groceries in particular. That's a huge impact that somebody can make on $10 a month.
And that 3,000 that you are feeding every month, month. Where are they from? Are they from all over or what?
We have a number of places and locations. The very church that I pastor, Cedar Crest Church, serves about 400 to 500 families every month. Beacon of Hope Church in North Minneapolis feeds a couple hundred families every month. Then we have Normandale Community College. We have the Campus Cupboard, and we have about 5,000 visits to that every year. We have the Food for Thought at Metro State University, and that's where they do groceries and right in the college, and it feeds a couple hundred people or families every month. Then we have 10 schools that we're doing a weekend pack program for kids. We're subsidizing their weekend needs because moms and dads can't afford food, or they're working and the kids just simply aren't eating. They're coming to school hungry or having not eaten very good. And then finally we got the mobile food program that goes to 4 different locations. And so, yeah, we're kind of everywhere. And at the same time, somebody goes, well, how can I find you? And I said, we're everywhere and seemingly nowhere. We're in all the communities of the Twin Cities. We're in St. Paul, we're in the suburbs, we're in the inner city, because we have a core value of believing that we should be offering provision to those in need. And another thing we like to say is we want participation, and then we want partnership. And so these three things work together to bring out Good in the Hood, and to, of course, the 10-4-1 program helps to fund that.
So those who are listening, if you really want to make an impact, and it's not going to cost, as they say, an arm and a leg. We're talking $10 a month. I mean, that's, just a couple of cups of coffee per week or something.
Yeah.
And you could actually feed 4 people. That's incredible. So how do they find out more about 10-4-1?
Well, they can go to our website, www.goodinthehood.org. And, of course, just reach out to us, and the 10-4-1 program's listed there. We would love to be able to, talk more about that and share that with them. And there's other ways to give and contribute too, and we can, share those when we meet with the people that reach out to us.
Helping others and changing lives is at the heart of Good in the Hood. If you'd like to know more about this value-driven organization, please visit goodinthehood.org.